Welcome back, everyone. By now you should have heard that Microsoft officially acquired Activision Blizzard, and there's a lot to delve into regarding this subject. So sit tight, get a stiff drink, because I'm about to take a stroll down negativity lane. First, let's start off by quoting a few important tidbits from the New York Post, which will be relevant as I run through what's happening. I quote, Microsoft said Tuesday that it plans to buy the scandal-ridden developer behind Call of Duty and World of Warcraft for $68.7 billion in cash, marking what would be the biggest gaming deal in history. The article goes on to say that the deal would make Microsoft the world's third-largest gaming company by revenue, just behind Chinese tech giant Tencent and PlayStation maker Sony. Now, this next quote is especially important, so pay attention. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said the deal would usher in a new era of gaming that puts players and creators first and makes gaming safe, inclusive, and accessible to all. Put this quote in the back of your head, because I'll be coming back to it a little bit later. The article continues on to address the Activision Blizzard scandal that's been ongoing, and even addresses this important little nugget, which I will quote. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick allegedly helped hide sexual misconduct and once threatened to have his own assistant killed, according to the Wall Street Journal. That's nice. Now, here comes the intriguing part. According to the same New York Post article, we read this bit of information. The deal with Microsoft isn't one Kotick would have planned on doing even a year ago, people close to him told the Post. Conversations about a possible deal between Microsoft and Activision began after news first broke of allegations against Kotick, according to people close to the matter. Again, the article fills you in on what's happening within the company by expressing that Bobby's situation is as follows, with this quote. Bobby sold at this time because he has unbelievable pressure to step down, a person with knowledge told the Post. Kotick didn't respond to a request for comment from the Post, and Activision also didn't respond to a request, which, as you can imagine, isn't that surprising. I've got two more quotes to go through before I break everything down, so bear with me. The article lets us know that Bobby plans on exiting stage left with this quote. Microsoft said Kotick will remain in place as CEO during the acquisition process, but people close to the matter claimed Kotick will likely head for the exits once the deal closes. I'm going somewhere with this, folks. Hang in there. And finally, this epic gem. He's not going to report to a division head at Microsoft, a person close to Kotick said. He was smart to make it all cash so he can just walk away. Everyone, as soon as I heard the news that Microsoft was going to buy out Activision Blizzard, I knew what that meant. It means Bobby got sloppy. He didn't hide his BS very well. News broke out over the Blizzard scandal, lawsuits ensued, and Bobby needed an escape hatch. If you think Bobby is suffering over what's happening, you're painfully unaware of how this industry works. Bobby has himself a nice golden parachute. He got sloppy, he needed a way out, so now Microsoft will give Bobby a disgusting amount of money to slip into the sunset with. All the while, some YouTubers, who shall remain nameless because I don't want to start a flame war, are smirking at the idea of Bobby getting what he deserves. Guys, no. He's getting away with everything. Remember, he was caught hiding some of the evidence for the sexual misconduct accusations. This way, Bobby gets to leave and make people think justice has been served. But it hasn't. But let's move on from the Bobby situation, because now that he's out, who takes his place? Well, Phil Spencer does. And what kind of person is Phil Spencer? Well, that's where things get a bit more interesting. A TechSpot article titled, Head of Xbox Phil Spencer wants cross-platform bans and block lists, has some revealing plans on what Xbox, and when I say Xbox I mean Phil Spencer, would like to do. According to the article, Spencer believes a cross-platform ban system is a viable solution to prevent toxicity. There are those buzzwords again. And get this quote. When someone is harassing someone on Xbox and gets reported, the support team can ban him from the Microsoft network. But what if that same person could also be banned from other platforms? That's what the head of Microsoft's gaming brand wants to achieve, preventing users from being followed by attackers when gaming on different networks. Holy crap. Spencer goes on to say that, I'd love to be able to bring blocked user lists to other networks where I play. So this is the group of people that I choose not to play with, said Spencer. Because I don't want to have to recreate that in every platform that I play video games on. If you're wondering where all this is going, here it is. It was expected to see people sharing their political views, but the Xbox social network wasn't designed for that purpose. And in case that isn't blatant enough for you, here's the zinger. One of the things we've stated about our social network is we're not a free speech platform. We're a platform around interactive entertainment and video games, said Spencer. We're not there to allow all kinds of social discourse to happen on our platform. That's not why we exist. If you've stuck with me this long, here's the payoff. What do you think will be next? Ask yourself, what kind of political speech would get you banned? You see, Phil didn't explain that. As usual, the vagueness is handy when wanting to enact rigid anti-free speech measures, which means whatever someone else is offended by will be deemed problematic, and you will be banned. What this opens the doors to is unfettered power in silencing anyone for any reason whatsoever, which is exactly what a lot of people have been saying for years. People like me. Whatever the blue-haired brigade finds insensitive, you will be punished for. Meanwhile, Bobby gets to hide evidence, be an all-round prick, and yet he'll be doing cartwheels out the front door of Activision when 2023 comes around. What I'm saying isn't far-fetched, guys. I harp on The Last of Us 2 dumpster fire frequently as a reminder that these types of things have already happened. So, for me, this Phil Spencer banning spree plan is a logical following step from Sony releasing their legal hounds on YouTubers in order to silence them when reporting a leak. It's just the way that they are. That's all I'm saying. Which brings me to my main point here. If you allow these companies to do what they're doing, they'll keep pushing forward, seeing how much more they can get away with. They're like little brats, pushing the envelope to see how much trouble they'd get in. If they did. I don't know, fill in the blank. They're testing your resolve, and that's why I boycotted Sony when I did. From the looks of it, me boycotting Microsoft may be my next move, but I'll have to see where this goes, if it goes anywhere. And I know what you're thinking. Dan, are you really going to boycott Microsoft? Your gaming hobby would practically be over if you did. Well, let's say you're right. But let me ask you a question. Which is better, standing up for what's right, or pushing down your God-given right to free speech just to entertain yourself and give a company who doesn't love you more money? Lastly, I won't name any names because, again, I don't want to start any trouble. But what bothers me is that some very popular YouTubers who have been silenced and victimized by Sony still went out and purchased PS5s. I just can't fathom that decision-making process. Handing money over to people who hate you. Giving a company money that will find new ways to take advantage of you in the future. True, almost all companies are swindlers. That's why they're rich. But honestly, I ask this sincerely and from the heart. Where do you draw the line? Thankfully, there is a place where free speech reigns, and that's Gab. It functions similarly to Twitter, but is infinitely more impressive, and you'll never be banned since it's a free speech platform. Meaning, you can say whatever you want and never get canceled. You could say things like, I believe companies that live within the boundaries of the United States of America should be following the Constitution, of the United States of America, and companies should not be allowed to silence free speech of any kind if they operate within the United States. But I've said my piece. There you go. That's the whole story. And until next time, friends, have fun.